What do you think there, Mox? Huh? Oh yes. Shall we do a foolish video, huh? This is gonna be a fun one. Okay, how's everybody doing today? Had a strange request, and for those of you country bumpkins out there that, like me, that think nothing of building a fire, probably don't want to watch this video. Somebody who grew up with oil, never built a wood fire in their life, asked me, how do you build a wood fire? Common sense to the people that have done it their whole lives. The people that haven't been accustomed to wood their whole life, I'm going to kind of do this on a simplistic way and explain some stuff about the wood. And hopefully when I get this video done, they'll have an understanding of why they're having trouble getting a fire going half the time. They're buying right now those starter logs, which are expensive, and they want, I guess they've got a wood supply, but they don't really know how about to get it started unless they buy something that's manufactured, and that's what I'm trying to do here, is explain stuff. So I'm going to get a couple pieces of wood and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I want to show you that's a piece of waxed box. That's probably the best fire starter anybody can ever find. You know, if anybody works in a grocery chain warehouse, you know, they might have availability of that, or maybe even have a friend or, you know, a relative that might work there. Probably can come up with a few waxed boxes, you know, damaged produce and different stuff like that, you know. I don't know. Might not be able to, you know, maybe they won't let them take it out. But I'll just show you, I've got a piece of, all these pieces of wood are the same size. Okay, got a piece of red oak, piece of pine, piece of cedar. I just want to show the difference on each one. But first thing we're going to do, show you how this piece of waxed box goes up. When that gets hot enough that it melts that wax, now you've basically got a waxed candle without a wick. I mean, that will start a heck of a good fire. I'm going to go throw this into the stove because I don't want to smoke up my shop too much, and I'll be back. We're going to start off with an explanation here of how come they can't get a fire started. If you take a hardwood, good lit match. Now this wood, it's got more BTUs than the pine by weight. And as you can see, due to the fact that it's denser, that match or a small fire doesn't get it up to temperature to where it will want to gas off and start burning. That's the whole secret. You have to overcome the weight and the mass and get it to gas off. Wood will not burn. It's the gas that comes off of the wood. I don't know if you want to call it pyrolysis. That might be a little different, but it's kind of similar. It's when it gases off anyway. So now you go down to a piece of pine. This is just white pine. Southern yellow will be a little denser, but you know, this here should be able to be lit with a match. Maybe not great, but as you can see, you know, it will burn. Due to the fact that there's not much weight to it, and where there's not much mass and weight, it comes up to temperature quicker. So you can light a fire with a piece of pine or something small. Of course, you put 10 or 15 pieces like this, then you put some 3/4 inch or bigger stuff on top of it, and then some bigger stuff, and it'll go right up to the fire and light everything on fire. So this is pine. Now we'll try a piece of cedar. This is white cedar from New England. It's what everybody uses for siding up here. It ain't really that great for siding, but it's what everybody uses. And this is actually a little lighter than the pine, but it also doesn't have the sap in it. So it might burn a little cleaner. But as you can see, it takes right off and burns all right. So it's gassing off. You can actually see the bottom of the wood, the flame is, you know, out away from the wood a little bit. It's because that's where the gas is actually getting up to temperature and burning. So anyway, that's an explanation of how that all works. Real simple to the people that's been around fire their whole lives. But if you've never been around it, doesn't mean people are dumb or anything. It just means they haven't been taught this particular thing in their life. It's a simple life skill to people from the country, but people not from the country or people that didn't pick it up when they were young, a little bit of an explanation. So now we'll go over to the wood stove and I'll show you how I build a fire, whether it's right or wrong or indifferent. Well, first thing to do is find some scrap, anything. This can be a round piece of wood, doesn't matter. And if you're gonna burn wood, somewhere find yourself a hatchet or an axe, and it don't have to be sharp to do kindling. You know, it's just gotta be something that you can make kindling with. And when you get a knot, don't try to split around it, just leave it alone. That'll be one of your bigger pieces. Just save yourself a lot of aggravation. And you know, it's about as difficult as what you make it. You know, you want probably a few small pieces, but you also, if you get some wax boxes, you don't have to have anything much smaller than, you know, what we got here. That's plenty to start a fire, and then some. So, I'll show you how I do it. Now, a lot of people might not agree with this, but I always like to have a smaller place to build a fire than what the whole stove is. So basically I'll take a piece of wood and I'll set it over there on the one side. I'll put the other one on the other side. There's actually some coals in here. So I don't know, this isn't going to be really starting from a dead coal stove, but it's the same idea either way. I got to get some paper here and some stuff and I'll show you. So anyway, I got this down now to what I consider a small firebox, right? Even though it's still big. Just put one piece of small newspaper in there. Now if this is in a fireplace, you can put this underneath the grates, the paper and stuff, but I always put them on top. That's just me. A couple pieces of wax paper. Throw your kindling in on top of it. It's not rocket science. And then, you know, I got all kinds of pine, so, and that really makes it easy to light a fire. But we'll throw that big piece in there. And then I'll get a couple pieces. That's actually going to light itself. There's a little tiny amber right there. Well, I said it was going to. It might. So we'll go in, just touch that and get that lit. Shouldn't take much. I got my couple pieces of oak here. And piece of red oak here, put on top. Bigger one. Kind of shake it down. Now if you just leave that like that, as if it was in a fireplace, you know, that would take off and go. Of course with a stove you shut it up, but we'll just let that mull along with the door open to simulate a fireplace and we'll see how it does. Well actually, for those people who want to see it get started, I guess we can just leave it. We'll just keep filming. It won't take long. I'll have to shut the door here in a minute. So the whole real secret to, you know, starting a fire is starting small and use light wood like pine, any type of cedar will work, poplar will work, poplar, whatever you want to call it. It works better than oak. A lot of your woods down south, like you know, hickories and stuff like that, they're all real dense wood. They don't gas off easy. So basically that oak will not start burning until the actual layer of wood gets up to 400-500 degrees and starts gassing off. No matter how you look at it, that's what you're trying to do, is make wood gas. and then that burns. So, real simple explanation. I'm gonna, as you can see here, we're starting to get smoke out of the door. So the fire's lit, it's gonna go. It's that simple. I know this is probably a very foolish video to the people that are out in the country that heat with wood. I tried to make it so that people will understand why you have to start with a light wood on the bottom and a small pieces. Hope that helps everybody. And you know, if it helps 10 people, it was worth doing the video. And for those of you who criticize and say it was foolish and waste of your time, you know, 10 minutes of your life you're never going to get back, well, you shouldn't have watched it to start with. Anyway, hope it helps somebody.